All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about real quick. We had our WWE SmackDown preview. We had my Thursday Night Wrestling review. We talked about Ring of Honor and TNA. We talked about my top 10 men in professional wrestling. And then we talked about my top 10 women in professional wrestling. And now we're going to talk about some AEW All Out predictions. We have about 10 minutes before I have to, log it off. But before we do any of that, I want to remind you guys to hit up that super chat. Hit up those super stickers because you guys are super awesome. This podcast is all about you. Love hearing your guys' opinions and questions and chats and stuff like that. Definitely want you guys to be more definitely a part of the show. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to something forward. Sorry, my dog's going crazy back there. First and foremost, sorry, there's a bug in here. It's going crazy. I have a chat from my man, uh Death of Slim Shady, which is actually kind of a crazy name, but I like it, mate. Hey Oos, nice to meet you, Oos. My name is Matthew, 23 years old with ADHD from Kalukula. Sorry, I'm terrible with pronunciations. I'm sorry if I butchered it. Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm a huge fan of WWE fan, Oos, and yeah, I am too. I started once when I was like 10 years old, 23 years old, you have your whole life ahead of you. Godspeed, my man. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope you keep watching WWE, keep tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. And just know this podcast is all about the wrestling fans. So definitely love. Thank you so much for chatting. Also, I got a chat from Alden Danielson. Hello. I love the last name. Danielson, like Bryan Danielson. That's pretty badass. Uh, keep tuning into the show as well. Shoot me on any chats or anything like that if you want to, have any more questions, comments, or concerns. All right, so we're running deep of time, kind of crazy. So let's go ahead and bang on through this. First and foremost, we have the Will Ospreay match with Pac for the AEW International Championship. First and foremost, I want to apologize for that. That was a big ass bug. Like if you saw that bug right here, like oh my god, like he got I don't know. I would have freaked out. It was kind of crazy. It's like a bug on steroids. It's like a Hulk Hogan of bugs. Or I'm just kidding. Barry Bonds. I'm just kidding. Moving on. Will Ospreay against Pac for the international championship. Will Ospreay recently dethroned MJF for that championship belt back. I really honestly don't see any damn reason why he would lose the match tonight. I mean tomorrow, Saturday night. Tomorrow night. Damn. Holy crap. Damn, I gotta check out my finances, see if I can buy this. I'm just kidding. No, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I got a chat. Alden Danielson. I'm not care brothers. Akuro Shida not win. Still believe Akuro should win. I think she could as well. She has she's been she's been a champion before. She's been a champion before, but Mercedes Moné right now is just riding so high with the TBS championship, also the New Japan Professional Wrestling Women's Strong Championship. And right now, Tony Khan, I feel like kind of has her where she's going to be this dominant force. And I feel like eventually when she does lose, it's going to be against something like, obviously I think Hikaru Shida is she's a veteran, which gives her a, pretty good chance. Every single time she steps into the ring, she puts on some pretty, good matches on Dynamite, Collision, Rampage. Also when she fights on Ring of Honor as well. And I watched a couple of her matches in New Japan Professional Wrestling. So I think she's got a shot. I think she's going to come so close, kind of like what you saw with that match where she fought, not Willow Nightingale. Who did she recently fight? Damn it. Um, but no, Britt Baker. I think she fought Britt Baker for the TBS championship, but won because of her new muscle. Not Cameron. Here's not Cameron. Damn it. Her new muscle. I can't think of her name right now. Camille. Sorry. Damn it. Camille. So I feel like, they're kind of heading toward this storyline with this kind of like where you saw Shawn Michaels back when you kind of had the, his bodyguard Diesel, where he kept racking up the wins. So, that's where I think Mercedes Moné is, eventually probably going to drop the belt. Maybe she finds a way to push Camille too hard, or she challenges for the belt and she becomes like a new singles, because she was signed by she was also signed, from, departing from the National Wrestling Alliance, which is another name that the National Wrestling Alliance lost because, a top promotional wrestling brand. Not like they had too much of WCW. Now you have AEW. I'm just kidding, though. But I don't know. I think Will Ospreay tomorrow night's going to win. Willow Nightingale takes on Chris Statlander in a Chicago street fight. Since it's not for a championship, I love Chris Statlander, but if it was for a championship, I would say Willow Nightingale. Swerve Strickland takes on Hangman Adam Page in an unsanctioned lights out steel cage match. It is personal. Man, in a week's time, stuff has hit the fan, guys. Stuff has hit the fan. It's crazy between these two. Like that escalated way too quickly. Swerve Strickland recently bought his childhood home that his mother cried so hard because it foreclosed, and him as a young man couldn't do anything about it. And Hangman Adam Page sat a chair out front, lit it on fire, and just enjoyed it. And then, God, I thought overall it was it was a good promo. Sorcerer, I just looked so damn. Oh, it was real. It was so real. It was kind of sad. I was a little sad. I got to be honest. I hope Swerve wins. MJF going against Daniel Garcia. All this hype with I don't see MJF losing twice in a row on PLEs though, or pay-per-views. I don't see it happening. But Daniel Garcia, I believe he still hasn't signed a contract yet with AEW. Maybe he inks it in the pre-show, kind of like what you saw Swerve do on All In. And maybe that kind of, has his like, because I feel like he does need to be pushed. Daniel Garcia needs to be pushed, all the way. I feel like he's going to fight probably for the international championship. Maybe he's the next one to challenge Katsushika Okada for the AEW Continental Championship. But overall, I feel like, there's a lot of it. I'm 50-50 right now between these superstars. Mercedes Moné, Hakura Shida, TBS Championship. I think Mercedes is going to win this one. Once again, like I was talking to my man Alden Danielson, it's going to be because of interference. And that's classic heel. You can't really blame Mercedes Moné for that. That's a classic heel. That's how they win, and they get all the respect too. Next, we have Bryan Danielson taking on Jack Perry for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. If Jack Perry ends up winning this match, I'm never gonna watch AEW again. I gotta be honest. I'm just kidding. No, but actually, I don't think I am. The AEW TNT champion takes on the AEW World Heavyweight champion versus champion. But Jack Perry, I don't think he's ready to be the main. I don't think he's ready to be the face of the company. I ultimately feel like this is a match to kind of show how good Jack Perry could be against Bryan Danielson, show that he does have potential to be as a main Carter, but nothing else. I think when Bryan Danielson loses this championship, I don't think he's going to lose it. I think he's going to be like, look, I have to go into surgery. It's already scheduled at the end of the year. I'm just going to relinquish my title. And obviously, that's how I kind of feel like. Maybe you guys have other, opinions. Make sure you shoot them in the chat. But I don't want to see Jack Perry as AEW World Champion. I don't. I really don't. I don't. The Young Bucks take on Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks are going to win. I don't know when Tony Khan's going to pull this plug on this EVPs, the Elite. It's trash. It's ready to be put to bed. Jack Perry's doing things on his own right now. Kazuchika Okada is doing things on his own right now. This faction needs to break up. They need to lose all the gold. They need to they need to lose those AEW Tag Team Championships 1,010%. And I don't know, I just don't think it's working. And it's a damn shame. It is a damn shame. I do like the Young Bucks. And the moment I started watching AEW, they turned into these guys. Of course, when you saw CM Punk kind of depart from AEW, it had a lot to do with the Young Bucks, had a lot to do with Jack Perry, and it's just I don't know. It kind of reminds people of kind of like a bad time in AEW. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's just me as a wrestling fan or an AEW fan. Like, when I see Jack Perry and the Elite together, I'm like, you guys kind of missed on a huge opportunity with CM Punk here. But, I don't know. But that's how I feel. And lastly, we have Kazuchika Okada faces to be announced. Damn it, to be determined for the Continental Championship. Who do I think is going to show up? Who do I think is going to show up to face Okada? Maybe like a familiar foe in the back. Maybe Eddie Kingston comes back. That could happen. Eddie Kingston comes back after. Well, he did have a leg injury. I'm not sure. Damn it. As of right now, I really can't think of anybody who would just shock the world to be like, oh my God, like maybe. No, Ricochet's not going to be that guy. That would be crazy. But I feel like that would kind of be, pushed way too early. Kyle Fletcher kind of had way more than his chances to do it. I don't know. This is, I honestly don't know who would challenge Kaz Okada for this championship match. Maybe John Moxley. That could be possible. John Moxley could do it. Maybe Kenny Omega. No, I don't think he's ready to come back from injury. But I don't know. It should be interesting to find out who answers this, not open challenge, but kind of like this, who knows who's he going to face kind of thing. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. Thank you guys so much. That's it for me. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys had a great week of watching the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. And had a great week of watching wrestling. Wrestling fans are one of a kind. We are family. 1010% love chats. Thank you guys so much from my boy, Alden Danielson and Anthony Mazzano. Definitely love you guys 1010%. Thank you for tuning into my show. And yeah. All right. So, yeah, go over and follow us on Twitter/X, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for more and TikTok for more content and updates. And like I always say, if I had not made you a wrestling fan by now, tune into GSMC Soccer Podcast with my boy Emmerich. 4 minutes and counting. Should be pretty cool. We have Sports by GSMC with Jeremy. We got GSMC Sports with my boy TJ. We got 2 football podcasts. The NFL is in full heat. Find out who to put your football fantasy bets on. If you have a football pool where you're doing over-unders or spreads, tune into, my boy Kenneth at the GSMC Football Podcast. My boy Manny with the Chip Shot Football Podcast. Also, we have a podcast strictly based on your guys' NFL fantasy needs with my boy Chris Shepard. He's as great as he is handsome. So make sure you tune into that show. Find out your stardoms, your sit-ems, who to drop. Maybe some players that are trending down that a lot of people are picking up, but they're like, you know what? They're not going to be that good. So, make sure you tune into the GSMC Fantasy Sports Podcast. Make sure you tune into my boy Nelson's podcast, GSMC Basketball. And I feel like basketball is always kind of on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of crazy to say. Usually when you see basketball podcasts, the NHL comes back, kind of, go one and one hand in one with an 82 game season. But, of course, with LeBron James always in the mix, is this going to be like his last couple of seasons? If you're an NBA fan, especially, I am, I could be bigger, definitely could be a bigger NBA fan. But a lot of, you're seeing Steph Curry probably going to hang up his boots pretty soon. LeBron James going to hang up his boots pretty soon. A lot of these superstars that I kind of grew up watching are probably going to retire, and it's going to be kind of sad. It's going to be kind of sad. We have college football tomorrow on Saturday. Find out all your information in terms of college football on my boy Tommy's podcast, the GSMC College Podcast. Tune in, college football podcast, college podcast. What would the college podcast be like? Oh, what kind of girls can we hook up with this week? I'm just kidding. No, just kidding. How to perfect the beer pong game. No, that'd be pretty crazy. That'd be pretty crazy. But anyways, guys. Hey, thank you guys so much. Enjoy your Friday night. Also, stay beautiful. But most importantly, like always, love you.